All right, go ahead and get started. Getting your dog's attention, take one.
Okay, this is where the fun begins. My name's Rudy, and this here is Brooklyn. I'll be using her, and we'll be working together to give you a pretty big idea of how you're going to do this. We're going to make it easy. We're not going to complicate it. They're actually a lot smarter than you might think. So if you're a first-time owner, get ready. You're going to be surprised. If you're not, you're going to be proud. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and remind you that if you're one of the lucky ones, then you have your dog's attention. That means at the slightest whisper of your voice, he'll be jumping, running, just begging to know what it is you want. Nevertheless, this is one of the most important factors of training. If you don't have your dog's attention, training is useless. So we're going to go ahead, and Brooklyn here is going to give you a good example of what it looks like when they take you for a walk. Let's see what that looks like. Go ahead, girl. Go. If you're anything like I am right now, they'll be walking you. This is the part you really want to try to avoid. But without getting her attention, it's not really going to help. Now, if you remember and you read any of my articles, you know that one of the first things you need to have is a treat. She's not aware of it yet. But take a good look at what happens once you make a connection between your command and what they want, what you want, and how they respond. For example, Brooklyn, that's pretty much what you'll get if you're just starting out with her. Totally ignore you. But here's what happens once you make the connection. Don't forget to tug and pull. Brooklyn, come. Good girl. Good girl. Brooklyn. Good girl. That's a good girl. That praise and the treat are where the connection come in. Once she knows, or he knows, that he's going to be rewarded in one way or another, he's more than happy to please. He's not any different than we are. When we get a pat on the back, we feel good about it. We respond a lot better. So do they. Let's take another look at the exact same situation. As you can see, she's pulling away. This is you, most likely, with your dog. But this is where you begin the training. This is where the fun begins. Brooklyn. Did you see that? Before, she actually ignored me. After I gave her the treat, she realized there was a connection between what I said and what I wanted. And she recognized it. Did you see how quickly she came? Now, I'm not giving her the treat immediately, because you really don't want to get them used to only working when they're treated. But a praise, a kiss, a hug, that's optional. But well deserved. Good girl. Here we go. She's such a good girl. She's a good girl. Now let me just explain this one little part which some of you might be confused. If you looked on my list before you actually looked at my video, you'll notice that during certain training, they would do certain things like she did. She would come over and she would actually sit down without the command. This is okay. You don't want to give more than you need to, and you really don't want to confuse them. So even if she does come, even if she does sit down, you praise. Eventually down the line in the training, you'll see where the connection comes in. And they learn to anticipate certain things. So let's try that again. You're going to take off with your dog, and you're going to see she's got a mind of her own. So she's going to go up ahead.